Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the February board meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So tonight we have a fill-in. Miss Paige Squires is at Nationals for dance team, and I heard they placed 11th in Palm, so that's amazing. We have Coben Steindorf tonight, and he's here with the student update.
I am Coben Steindorf. I am the current ASB Vice President at the high school, and as Miss Carson said, I'm filling in for Paige tonight as she is flying back from Nationals with the dance team. Academics-wise, we have 4 weeks left in trimester as we're gearing up for finals and are officially more than halfway through the year. And as a senior, it's honestly kind of crazy to think that the next board meeting will only have 1 trimester left of school. Right now, we are just wrapping up course selection at the high school for next year's sophomores, juniors, and seniors. In 2 weeks, we'll start our process of welcoming the incoming freshmen by visits to the middle school, student-led tours at the high school for the incoming freshmen, and an incoming freshman night for all incoming students and parents on Monday, February 23rd at 6:30 p.m. For activities, today was the start of our Mental Health Awareness Week. There are a lot of events this week to help brighten students' days, such as door greetings led by students, hot chocolate before schools on Wednesdays, and giving away flowers before school on Friday. Last week, we had our Staff Appreciation Week, and as a leadership class, we supported the teachers by making customized posters for every teacher, bringing in their favorite snacks, drinks, items, and notes. And we'd also like to give a big thank you to our SHS Parent-Student Organization and the Center Stroh Orthodontics, and our school and district administrators and office staff for making it such a great week. We recently had our blood drive on Tuesday, February the 3rd, and it was our highest number of donors this year. And we're just continuing to thank Haliana Phelps, who is our blood drive coordinator, for putting on such an amazing job. The annual Bowen Pageant is officially 2 Saturdays from now. And as a reminder of what Bowen Pageant is, it is a huge fundraiser for Doernbecher Children's Hospital. Right now, we have 11 teams working relentlessly with our goal in mind of raising $35,000. And we hope to see all of you guys there February 21st at 6 p.m. in the SHS Auditorium. And lastly, we have our last Bowen Pageant dinner night out this Thursday at Panda Express. It takes place all day, and customers must show flyer at checkout. For arts, the Mixolydians had a competition 2 weeks ago in which they gave an amazing performance and finished 4th out of the 11 competing programs. Bowman Theater also has a performance this week titled The Importance of Being Earnest, Thursday night, Friday night, a Saturday matinee, and a Saturday evening show. Athletics-wise, Arrows competed at Nationals in Florida this past weekend, placing 11th in Palm nationally. Swimming has districts this week. Wrestling has had a couple dual meets and tournaments lately, with their district meet upcoming at the end of next week, sorry. And boys and girls basketball are both undefeated in league play and are looking forward to playoffs starting March 3rd and March 4th. Spring sports start Monday, March 2nd, and kind of checking back to the year flying by, it's kind of crazy to think that spring sports are already starting. And cheer has been doing a great job at the recent competitions and are preparing to do well at state this weekend. For our Sherwood School District Student Spotlight this month, February is National Career and Technology Education Month, and we are excited to have representatives from the Sherwood High School CTE department to share some of the amazing work that happens in their classrooms. Now, if you join me in please welcoming Ethan Hill and Cora Holman.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ethan Hill, and I'm a senior at Sherwood High School. I've been in the Sherwood school system for just about all my life, and what I've discovered is that I believe the best way to learn is to do. Something about actually trying stuff and putting what you're learning into action rather than sitting at a desk and having someone talk to you about it has really taken me far. That's why I find such value in CTE classes, is because I get to apply what I'm learning out in the shop, or more importantly, out in the real world. I've taken a lot of CTE classes at SHS, including welding, woods, culinary, business, and much more. I've always liked working with my hands and building stuff, and the opportunities that Sherwood High School has given me has only made me love it more. For the past 5 years, I've been running my own woodworking business, and it has taught me a lot. I look forward to using those skills to start my own company once I graduate. In the meantime, I've put together numerous business plans and designed and prototyped products. I've started preparing to launch a new camping equipment company. Although most of this is self-taught, that I've learned through failing multiple times, having teachers, classes, and tools around the schools has helped me in ways that I can't imagine. The CTE classes have been the highlight of my time here at Sherwood High School, and the skills that I've learned will take me far. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cora Holman. I find that the CTE classes have really helped me define what I want to do after high school. Freshman year, I signed up for a lot of my classes based mostly just on interest, things that I thought would be something fun to take. I ended up with a few intro classes to engineering, welding, and woods that year. I loved all of these classes and was really pulled towards a more trades-based pathway. Though I wasn't sure about if I wanted to go towards welding or into construction yet. Um, Sophomore year, I got another engineering class and then some more woods classes. I found a lot more interest and a lot more direction towards like construction and maybe carpentry. I found that I liked creating things, building things with my own hands. Um, and then junior year, I had all three classes again. The welding class had a apprenticeship program started, which really showed me more pathways into construction and into like a welders union. We toured the local 290, and I found a lot of cool things there. I thought it was super interesting. Um, Halfway through that year, I visited my grandma, and we were joking around, and she said that I shouldn't waste my brains without going to college. I should take my honors student status and apply for something more. And it made me realize that a lot of the things I'd been doing, I really loved, but I didn't want to miss out on the opportunities that I had. And so looking further into it, I saw that an engineering degree would be best for me because it combined designing things and building things with my own hands, along with the more rigorous college pathway that would, as my grandma say, would help me out later on. Uh, and it just really helped me figure out that I am better fit for like mechanical engineering than just, construction. Um, it was very helpful a lot. Thank you.
Does anyone else want to say anything? Sorry, you were all looking over. Can you go back up? Thank you, first of all. So hang on, I want to bug you for a second. Could either of you, Cora or Ethan, can you join? So what would either one of you say to your freshman self as it relates to this? I was thinking about the CTE journey you've been on. What would you go back and say? What's your advice to your freshman self?
I would say keep exploring, keep investigating things, because if I had looked more into, I'd say, like photography or more art classes, I probably would have found something that resonated better in that art way, because I do love photography, though it doesn't really fit with my career plans as much. But still, I found that, I would say just keep exploring and don't procrastinate.
Yeah, I'd tell my freshman self to get involved earlier. I wish I would have taken more in my freshman years because I'm definitely going to miss all the resources that I have at the high school after I graduate. Yeah.
I just want to say that I think our CTE program and our welding and woods and it is one of our crown jewels at Sherwood High School. And there are high schools that don't offer a lick of these type of offerings at all. And I think kids are missing out because I think you guys get to discover exactly what you fell in love with, and you're working with your hands, or you're creating, you're applying, like your grandma said, you're suddenly looking at becoming a mechanical engineer or a structural engineer, or taking what you love about welding and taking it a step further. And I think that's great. And I'm really proud of you guys. And I love this program at our high school.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for having us here to celebrate CTE month. I've moved up in the high school and done a bunch of different things. And the one thing I've held on to since the first day I came to the high school 8.5, 9 years ago is the CTE department, because it's everything you just said. Like, it's unbelievable. And I know, as administrators, we kind of joke that, like, where do you go in the building when you need to get away, when you need to reset and do that? And this is where I go. Like, it's just amazing to watch these kids do these things. And so one thing we wanted to do for all of you to kind of highlight the things that happen is we have a wonderful gift that the kids have made. And our students also put together a video which highlights how it was put together. So please direct your attention up there and check it out. It's pretty cool.
I don't know why, but I feel like I want to tear up right now. This is so cool.
So if we could get our teachers, Principal Mitchell, and our students to come up, we're gonna have our board members take a picture with you all up here in the very front. Miss Sticka is gonna get a picture with us.
They're so cool. These are really cool. I'm always like, yeah. You can hold it up high. A little bit, just ever so.
Little bit.
Who are we looking at? Yeah. Look at Scott first. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, thank you so much. These are so nice. Oh, cool. They're kind of gonna let us take this. What? You're gonna make us. Yes. Oh, that's good. I knew they were gonna say that. We'll say now, they're not. You guys, thank you so much. These are so cool. Thank you. And thank you for being here.
Sorry.
This is so cool. Yes. It's hard.
Has their name in binary code. Yeah. So along with our students, we have some teachers here. Lee Johnson is one of our business teachers. Behind him in the yellow is Bree Dannon. She teaches about everything: foods, child development, interior design, quite a few different things. And behind her is Allison Meadows, our metal fabrication ag FFA. And those two ladies are where your dinner came from tonight. And then a special guest in the Beaver sweatshirt right there is a CTE legend, Mr. John Niebergall. He is honestly one of the big parts of our program getting to be where it is today. So thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. And thank you for letting us recognize our kids and all their work and enjoy your gifts. Those are fantastic.
So much. Thank you so much. We also want to thank you for the fantastic brisket dinner that you served us tonight. Abby needs like 3 of the eclairs to go. If you could box her up. She won't stop talking about it. Thank you so much. This is a fantastic night. We're so proud of you guys. This is an amazing program. And Neebs is here. Neebs, he taught when I was in high school. So, you know, like what, 10 years ago? 10 years ago. Right. Okay, good. Thank you so much, you guys. You have to stay. Okay, we're gonna move on. I don't know how we top that. We're gonna move on to our superintendent update.
I'll keep it pretty, I'll
That-
keep it pretty tight. One thing, I just wanted to say thank you also to Principal Mitchell and his team and their continued commitment to supporting our CTE. Incredible efforts there, and it's just wonderful to see them. One thing that I wanted to highlight is how well they work together and as a department, and that does come through a lot of Principal Mitchell's hard work as well. So thank you, Adam, and appreciate you coming tonight. I have just a couple things that I wanted to highlight since the last month, and then we will keep the meeting moving here. One thing is just a celebration point. We were had the last year's graduation rates came out, and the Sherwood School District ended up with a 96.7% graduation rate, which is pretty incredible. And that is in the metro area for especially our large school districts. It's like second in state there. So what I wanted to highlight specifically was the district-wide efforts around this. We believe that it starts the moment they walk onto any of our campuses. If it's from when they first joined with us, and they're, kindergarten, now it's pre-K, to they could transfer in and it's 7th grade and it's the first time they see, and join Sherwood. And so all of our staff really deserve credit, and the students deserve credit on this, and also the collaboration, obviously, with parents, and the partnership there is incredible. So it genuinely is a team effort, but it is something to be celebrated. And folks are working incredibly hard. Our students are really committed to doing well, getting there the right way. We don't have a lot of alternative pathways for them. And we say we care deeply. We want you to graduate. This is our strategic plan: happy, healthy, and with a plan. When you hear Ethan and Cora talk tonight, love thinking about what's the plan? What are you doing now to get you ready for next? And we believe deeply in this. This is why we're here. And so graduation rate is one metric that we do use. But we know it's not the only story, and we do know that a lot of hard work and effort goes into that. So compliments to the district on that, really, and obviously the high school gets the last stretch and the hard work that gets there, but there's hard work all along the way. So thank you again to our whole team and to our kids and families. Also want to say thank you to all the PACs and the boosters and the parent groups last week for staff appreciation. It was an incredible showing that our community gives to our schools. They felt loved. I really appreciate the fact that we do that all in a week. It used to be split up into a couple different groups and a couple different weeks, and our district decided we want to celebrate together, and it was wonderful. So thank you for efforts on that. I know many of you were a part of that in your own local schools there too. And then just lastly, I want to say thank you. I want the community to hear the commitment to those who maybe think, well, the board members just they show up at a board meeting and that's what they do. It's like, no, they do what they did last Friday, which was spend time with Marlene Carroll and I, and we went around to all of our elementary schools and just had a wonderful time. We were looking at early literacy, we're looking at interventions, we're looking at high dosage tutoring, math interventions, and just being a part of all 4 of our schools. And so thank you for your time and energy and efforts there. I really enjoyed it, and we had a lot of we saw a lot of great learning happening, and it was just fun to be able to do that and have you in our schools. And so thank you for your time commitment and your volunteering for that. So again, a little belated, we're just keeping the board member appreciation going on. Those are probably the coolest darn things I've seen. So anyway, that's my report for the evening.
Thank you. I'm smuggling that home. I'll bring it back every
Bring it
month.
back every
We'll move on to board reports. I didn't get a count, so who's up?
I'll just do a quick add-on about visiting each of the elementary schools and looking at all the activity that is happening around setting our elementary students up for success. It's really incredible to be able to be on the ground and see the range of different students that our schools serve and how dialed in our staff is to making sure we meet every student where they are and peeling off small groups, doing interventions, doing extensions, doing all of the additional work that's required to set Sherwood students up for success right from the jump. So big thank you to everybody at the elementary schools for all of that hard work.
That was fun. That was a fun day. We got to see everybody and do their thing and high dosage tutoring and interventions, and it was a good day. Everyone's really excited to share their data. Like early estimates were very, 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 very good and positive. So that's really exciting. My quick update is just Vice Chair Hawkins and I are reaching out to our representatives who represent our district, and we're talking about the in the short session what they're doing and the needs of what we need in our district with funding pertaining to SPED, pertaining to unfunded mandates, and we will be having meetings shortly with those representatives and making headway there. So that's just a little bit from what we're doing outside of Sherwood, advocating at the state level. Okay, we're gonna move on to our consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I motion that we pass the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We have no public comment tonight, so we'll move right along. And we will go to the Bowman House under information and discussion with Brady Stretz and Adam Mitchell.
All right. Thank you again for having us here. And this is, again, when I talked earlier about things that, when you need a break, when the chaos is going on and you need to go see kids doing amazing things, this is one that really stands out. And we've had incredible success with it. It has touched a ton of kids, a ton of parents, a ton of businesses, the community. And as we unfortunately got into the pandemic and tried to go a couple different directions and they just didn't pan out. And with land being scarce in Sherwood and those kind of things, it's been a little bit tough to get it back. And so we are really excited to share some information with you and look forward to kind of resurrecting the Bowman House. And so wanted to share with all of you, with our community, just exactly what the Bowman House is about and the impact that it has, not only on the obvious, building a house, but how that resonates through the department, through the community, all those kind of things, through the school. Whoops. Let's try this. There we go. So it is technically part of our construction pathway at Sherwood High School. Kids take they take their introductory woods class and then move into Bowman House. There's a Bowman House 1 class, which is teaching different skills, tools, different things like that. Some kids are also taking other woods classes. They may be taking metal fabrication, they may be taking welding, all the different things. But it is the culmination of the pathway, the construction pathway. I know this sounds obvious, but sometimes it's hard for people to wrap their head around. We built 4 houses in the community. Like, we're building houses that people are living in. And so when you talk about work-based learning opportunities and career-connected learning, like, you cannot get any closer. Like, we're doing what professionals do and industry does. And so it's amazing, and it's a big thing to talk about in the community. One thing that maybe doesn't get noticed as much that really want to highlight is that this isn't just in the construction pathway. Our kids from our architecture class are currently designing a couple different drafts of homes depending on what land might look like and those kind of things. Do we need 1 story? Do we need 2 story? How big do we need? What does that look like? But throughout the process, our culinary arts department gets involved, typically towards the end when we have the giant open house, and they help cater that, they help design that, they help do all that kind of stuff. They do a little bit with the kitchen. Our interior design classes do a ton of work to help design the interior of the house, down to the tile and the colors and all of those things. So there's a lot of kids that are involved that aren't just the ones pounding nails and building houses and those kind of things. And so it really resonates throughout the whole building and the whole community. Typically, it takes about 2 years to build a house. That is from starting on the dirt in the summer before the school year starts, all the way through about May when we have the open house and the house goes up for sale. We work really hard to find partners. Our Bowman House teacher, Mr. Dickover, is a licensed contractor, and so he oversees the project. But one thing that he really makes sure is that the people and the professionals that he subcontracts with or volunteer their time are willing to do it through the lens of education. We don't just hire somebody to come and do the siding. We have kids do as much as possible, and we have professionals come in to work next to those kids to do the siding or the framing or whatever, the windows, whatever it might be. But we are looking for people to partner with us that will use that lens. Yes, they get paid. Yes, there's all those kind of things, but we want that to be a big piece of what happens. And the really amazing thing is that a lot of those people are either community members, former alumni, businesses within Sherwood or very close to Sherwood that want to give back. The wonderful part, it's not hard to find somebody who is willing to come and work with our kids. And that's really cool. Mr. Dickover has the bonus of being a Sherwood alumni, and living in Sherwood quite a bit of his life. And so he really pulls in people who are invested in this just as much as we are. And so that's pretty nice. And a lot of those people, not only do they bring in their expertise to work with our kids, but they're donating labor, they're donating materials, trying to make it get the kids involved as much as possible. And so when we do talk about costs, when it comes down to that saves us money and can bring down our cost per square foot to build, which then when we get to sell it on the open market, gives us a nice little improved profit margin. So that's kind of nice. I got a little ahead of myself there, but Mr. Dickover is in charge as far as the instruction and the construction of the house. Myself and Liz Barrett do a lot of the work to support, as well as district staff, and there's a lot more people involved than what are on that slide. We have a board of industry professionals that oversee the things that go on, provide us, as it says, networking, oversight. We've worked really hard with this to expand it to be a wide variety of professionals in the construction industry. So we have home builders, we have small home builders, we have medium-sized home builders, we have commercial construction companies that are helping us out, even though it's a single home residential process. And so working to give the kids a pretty wide variety of things that go on in that industry. And as I said, this program started in 2011. Uh, 8 years, 4 houses. 2 of them are just off Dewey, kind of right over here, and 2 of them are right off the roundabout on Oregon Street. And so we're looking forward to adding to that. In the construction program, you're going to get about 30 to 60 kids. We're trying to figure out a way to add a few kids to that that are working on the house each day. And again, as I said before, we get, with the cross-curricular opportunities, we get quite a few more. So, Mr. Stratz?
Thank you. So our goal is to get back to that active build cycle phase of the Bowman House program, and we want to get students that meaningful vocational training. Currently, they're planning, like Mr. Mitchell said, and we've been exploring potential sites and just a way to get them back working on the houses as soon as possible. And long term, again, our goal for this has always been to sustain the program for as long as we can. Here's a bit of financial history just to talk about how we've been stewards of district finances with this program. You can see that over time, we've sustained the initial investment the district made into the program, and we have even grown that margin, which is nice, and all part of our vision for keeping this going long term. The funding for this, revitalizing this program, relaunching this program, comes out of 2 funds, Fund 407 and Fund 404. And this is money that was set aside, again, back at the start of the program. We've kept it there untouched, and it totals that amount there, about $779,000. So again, when you're in the business of real estate, there is a measure of risk involved, and it's a program with high upfront expenses to develop land, to construct on land, and then to sell it. But we know this also connects with our stated desire to provide these CTE college and career readiness opportunities and give our kids these hands-on technical education pieces. To take this next step, it's up to the board, and for the board to approve the expenditure of the funds that would allow us to relaunch the next phase of the program. Thank you. Any questions?
No, no questions. We've already spoken extensively about this, so not that we don't though.
Principal Mitchell, thank you for joining us tonight to talk about this. And I know, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Dickover and all the folks that work so hard. This is really a cool thing. And I know that when you go back and look at the 8-year journey, it's exciting to think about revitalizing it. And I just wanted to ask if you just could relay that on behalf of our team as well. I know the board members and us have appreciated the fact of what has been done to allow us to even have the conversation today about this hands-on opportunity that Ethan and Cora explained and talked about earlier. For a lot of our kids, I've heard that kids have come back to say, I can't wait to come back and donate because I've been doing the construction now for 10 years or whatever it is. And so I've heard from alumni that said they're coming back to help and make sure that other kids have that same experience that they had. And then they also have noted one particular student shared with me that they were happy because they drive by and they tell everyone, I helped build that house. And so that was kind of that, it's pretty neat. So anyway, I wanted to thank you if you could relay that to, Mr. Dickover in the team that led before this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions for you when you asked for questions, but I am so excited to hopefully see this project move forward. I feel like for at least the 5 years I've been on the board, we've been talking about how to see this come back to life. And I know our students are very excited to be a part of this program. So I know it's been a lot of work for you and your team to kind of get us to this place, but we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a good adventure, a lot of learning. I'm learning a lot of real estate and land and city codes and all those. So that's been interesting. And we've done a lot of work on our end, kind of trying to shoulder that load because we know once we get started, it'll all transfer to Mr. Dickover. And so trying to help him out, get it going, and then let him have at it with the kids. So it'll be great.
Thank you.
Adam, I was just going to add one other thing that maybe you take for granted, but I wanted to emphasize the community that may be watching this. it's not only the CTE and the other touches that come touch with this program, but I heard about Bowman House when my girls were at Archer Glen years ago. So it is a message that gets out to all these students. So everybody at the high school now knows, whether they're in the CTE programs or not, they know somebody's working on the Bowman House plans in architecture. They know somebody that's going to be working in the house next year. So this really builds a community at the school. Everybody knows somebody, whether they're doing it or not. And it really is very impressive how it brings these young people together. So just wanted to point that out as well.
Yes, I appreciate that. One quick story. There was a student who, I don't know if it was the second or third house, I can't remember, but they decided they want to be part of the architecture, the planning part of it. And it inspired so much in them that I wish I could remember the college, but they ended up at a very prestigious college in England on an architecture scholarship because of the passion that they found in the Bowman House. And so it extends, like you said, very far, and it's really something to be proud of. So thank you for your consideration on this.
I just want to say, this is an amazing program, obviously. We have John Niebergall in the audience who started the Bowman House program way back when, and he is here supporting the relaunching of this juggernaut. Just like Han said, like this Bowman House touches everybody. You know, everyone knows someone who's done it. You can drive by the houses and be like, oh, that was a Bowman House. Oh, that was a Bowman House. And it's such a testament to like the mission of the CTE, of like our strategic plan, and then driving that home with kids who make a career out of it. And it literally puts them on the path to forging ahead in life and supporting themselves and exactly what we want them to do. So this is an amazing opportunity. I'm so glad that it's been a long 5-6 years, but I'm glad that we're making it happen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move to action items, tying right into the Bowman Construction Resolution. I'm gonna give it to Brady.
Great. So what we have for the board is a resolution to approve the continuation of the Bowman House construction. And so our recommendation is that you adopt the resolution as presented.
Okay, I'm going to read the resolution and then someone can make a recommended motion after that. This is for the Sherwood School District 88J Resolution 2526-001, affirming support for the Bowman Construction Program and authorizing the acquisition of real property for project number 5. Whereas the Sherwood School District Board of Directors, the board recognizes the Bowman Construction Program as a vital component of the district's strategic design, specifically advancing college and career readiness through hands-on technical education. And whereas the district has successfully completed 4 Bowman House projects to date, providing invaluable vocational experience to students while maintaining the fiscal integrity of the program. And whereas the board acknowledges that while previous projects have yielded a collective net profit, current market volatility in construction materials and real estate may impact the profitability of future projects, including the proposed Bowman House 5. And whereas the district has identified sufficient dedicated resources within Fund 407 Bowman House Fund and Fund 404 Real Property Fund, totaling approximately $779,686 to finance the acquisition of land and construction costs. And whereas the proposed timeline necessitates securing a suitable building lot in the first half of 2026 to ensure construction can commence for the 2026-2027 school year. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Sherwood School District 88J. 1. Program endorsement. The board hereby affirms its continued support for the Bowman Construction Program and authorizes the initiation of Bowman House number 5. 2. Expenditure authorization. The board authorizes a total expenditure not to exceed $779,000 for the purchase of a subdivision lot and all associated construction costs. These costs shall be funded via the assets held in Fund 407 and Fund 404. 3. Authority to negotiate. The superintendent or their designee is hereby authorized to negotiate for the purchase of a suitable subdivision lot. 4. Compliance. Any real estate transaction or major service contract shall be executed in accordance with Oregon Revised Statutes, ORS, and district policy regarding real property and public contracting. adopted this ninth day of February 2026. Board of Directors, Sherwood School District 88J, Washington, Clackamas, and Yamhill counties in the state of Oregon. Is there a motion?
I recommend that we approve the Bowman Construction Resolution as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
That's
Congratulations.
exciting.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, moving on to interdistrict transfers. Brady Stretz, you're up again.
Fabulous, thank you. Hey, it's that time of year where we revisit our interdistrict transfer policy. So this is an annual thing that we do this time of year every year. Interdistrict processes are regulated by HB 2747. It is a non-discriminatory process. There are requirements for remaining in SSD that we set, and they're around attendance and behavior. Again, numbers in and out are a board level decision. So that's our process overview. As far as, and do we have slides on this? Yeah, thank you. We have the adequate space to accept incoming transfers. We have numbers for longer term projections that we found to be off. And so in 2024, that was the last year we did an engagement with our demographers for long-term projections. We found that our own internal projections are more accurate, and we do them every year as part of our budgeting process. And so you'll note that the difference there, but I do want to include these here as we look at our long-term projections. Again, they're not highly accurate, but given our current registrations, we have the space. And so into elementary, across all elementary schools, and I'll skip ahead to the slide for you. So here's our numbers. We're in good shape to accept incoming interdistrict transfers. So in elementary, we're recommending 80 students, 30 in kinder, and then 10 per grade in grades 1 through 5. The process for school assignment is that near the end of the summer, we evaluate our capacity, and then we choose location by our capacity at the end of the summer. And in this process, we make sure siblings are kept together. At the middle school, 40 students is our number, 20 students in grade 6, and then 10 per grade in grades 7 and 8. At the high school, we set 50 students as our interdistrict transfer allowance for students coming in. That's 20 in 9th grade and 10 per grade in grades 10 through 12. And so those are all the numbers for students transferring into Sherwood School District from outside. For students transferring out, this year we're going to set our number at 0 students. Again, there are exceptions for hardships, which is a state-defined hardship policy, and all of our previously granted transfers will continue.
Questions or discussion?
Yeah, I just want to say a couple things because I think I'm the one that's not on board with the 0, but I understand the reason for it. I know we've got budgetary reasons and we're trying to make sure that we aren't losing money by having students not in our district, but so I get that, and I understand that. I worry about setting it to 0 for a couple of reasons, and I feel like may even backfire because we have districts around us that have transfer numbers that are higher, like 10, 20, sometimes even more than that around us. And I feel like by being protectionist like this, we're just sending a message to those other schools. And what we're going to end up with is less transfers coming in anyway. I mean, we're already asking like big numbers, 50 in high school, 80 in elementary, 40 in middle school. I know we don't always get all those, but I do know that some of them come from hardships, and I get that. I know that's a very defined list and process, but some of them are not through hardships. They're just through the allotments. So I think I worry that by putting it to 0, we're basically going to be sending a message to, Westland, Wilsonville. I think it has 20 right now. It's just going to say, oh, well, okay, I guess we'll do 22. Sherwood's going to do 20, right? So I think it may backfire on us. So just something to consider. But I don't know like what that message says to our community when we're just saying, unless it's a hardship, forget it. And I don't that doesn't sit well with me. I think that Sherwood has so much to offer, that we're very competitive in academics and all of our programs. We just spent an hour talking about all of our CT programs and the Bowman House and all these things that we have to offer. I get why people would want to come here. I just feel like we can be competitive without putting that number to 0. But again, I understand. I totally understand the worry about the budget. But I just wanted to at least explain my position before we voted.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying. I think Sherwood has a lot to offer as well. And to be clear, we're not asking for those numbers. We're opening our doors to up to that many if they'd like to come here. But the reality is, as a school board, our job is to look over our budget and the money that we are stewards of, that the taxpayers are giving us. And I feel responsible that as a school board member, I can't say I'm willing to see this amount of money walk out the door just because Billy would maybe like to go to school with his friends somewhere else. Like, for me, it's just, that's not a good enough excuse, and it doesn't protect the investment going into the school district. And so, as much as I do understand what you're saying as well, and there's a little bit of like a to being like, it's a 0, I just feel like in this role, that's where my responsibility lies, in taking care of our finances.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. Yeah, I agree with, I understand exactly what you're saying. I just also think that it may actually work against us, right? Because if other districts are saying we're going to go to 0, they're going to also follow suit, go to 0. And so that protectionism is actually going to lower in inter-district transfers coming in, which would actually hurt us financially more.
There are many districts though that are 0.
I understand, but
Yeah.
I know our next door neighbor is not. So I'm just giving that as an example, right? And they're going to vote on it soon too.
0.
Wilson was at 20.
Right, but they're not our next door neighbor.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm just saying Tiger Twalton is just as easily comparable.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I was just gonna note for my decision, it is kind of looking around and being consistent with some of the districts that are around. I know Newburgh is at 0, Tiger and Tualatin is at 0, Beaverton is at 0, Lake Oswego is at 0. There's a number of districts around who have gone to a hardship process to manage interdistrict transfers. So from my perspective, we're being consistent with the districts that are around us. And it's not that we're saying no, it's just that we're saying the fairest way for us to manage this is through the hardship process. And that's what we'll use going forward for interdistrict transfers.
I think the landscape has also changed. I think before, when we used to do these transfers out, we were able to play nice in the sandbox, is what we would say with everyone. That's why we're able to grant 30 every year to leave, because we would get some back and we would play nicely with other districts. Well, the landscape has absolutely changed. And so everyone is at 0 because everyone's enrollment is down, and we are clamoring for every student we can get. And I think that's why we're at where we're at. Also, we just got done having a meeting last month about our finances and where we're at. And I would have gone to 0 last year, and I make no bones about that. I said that last year, because it's hard for me to watch that money walk out the door when we're financially responsible for the taxpayers' money, and we're stewards of that. And so, and I get what you're saying, but I just don't think that's the reality we live in anymore. Everyone's holding on to their students, and we can't watch our funds walk out the door like we used to.
Yeah, I will weigh in as well. This obviously generated a lot of discussion between us, and we're going to arrive at a suitable decision. But it is, I feel for myself, a fiscal responsibility, and also one that I'd like to emphasize is a yearly review. Now, it's a little hard to measure when you have 0, but you can get a feeling what Harmony was alluding to. What is the atmosphere? What's happening in other districts with their students? What are parents feeling about that? So we're, as members, in touch with other school districts and cognizant of this. And we look at it every year, and we'll adjust if necessary. But for now, I think this is the correct decision.
I agree. I believe that of all the decisions that the board makes, we've gone through a lot of tough stuff in the last few years, like the last 4 years, especially with our budget. And to me, just having lived through that, this is honestly one of the easier decisions I think that we can make. Like, I think it just is. I mean, it does not hurt me to make this decision. It is in the best interest of this school district. It is overall. So, and again, we can always look at this every year, but I also agree that this is a board decision that the district carries out on behalf of the board. And this is one of the harder ones that some of us are making. So, and that's okay.
One thing I wanted to add that is going to be coming out, this is the time of year that the House bill asks us to do this for every district in the state. And so this is not us just, there's purpose around this. So you will be seeing, to your point of what other districts are doing. One thing I have heard this year, which we'll see how it plays out, is that the districts that have been at zero, which there are several around us, are planning to still remain at zero. But then the districts that have had openings, we have heard that they're going to put some restrictions on those, or the transfers out, that there would be some tight restrictions. So they may still have a number, but that number is not going to be as open as it was this year. So it could be the restriction is go with it. You already had a sibling that transferred out 5 years ago or something like that. There are certain restrictions that they're putting on. Don't quote me. They're all in these early conversations, but I do anticipate some slight changes that neighboring districts who maybe have numbers out there right now maybe are thinking differently. Again, their board makes that decision just like you all do. So I just wanted to note that.
But I mean, we are a neighborhood district too, right? So like we make this move, everybody else is watching what our move does. That has a cascading effect. So by paying protectionism, we're gonna essentially, in my mind, because I know you guys are seeing it as a fiscal thing. I'm also seeing it as a fiscal thing. So I'm trying to be clear on that. Like if we go to zero, I think it's a net loss to Sherwood because we're gonna get more people wanting to come to our district because we're such a good district than we're gonna have wanting to leave our district. So, but if we all go to zero, then there's just going to be less movement and we lose in the end. That's what I'm trying to say. Financially, fiscally, I think this is a net negative for us. I think that was just the clarification I want to make because I know you guys are seeing it from a fiscal same point saying, hey, 10 students going out is $100,000, roughly 10,000 per kid. That's money going out. I'm saying if we all go to zero, all the other districts are going to see that. They're going to go to zero. Less come in, we actually are net negative. Because right now we're getting more in than we go out. That's where we're at. I don't know if it'll always stay that way.
I don't think we're the first domino to fall on this. I think we're actually one of the last dominoes to fall on setting our number, actually. I know a lot of districts who set zero well before this meeting. So I respectfully disagree with that.
Also, we went from 30 to 10 this last year and we're not net negative for that.
We have more coming in than going out, so I'm saying.
Right, but there wasn't like a number of 20 difference. So I don't think that math is like very sound. I mean, you can't predict that. You don't know that because people can come in here for hardships. They can come in here, for all sorts of, it's not that easy to predict that math is what I think.
I move that we approve the proposed interdistrict transfers for 2026-27 as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries 4-1. Okay, moving on to SIA grant agreement with Marlene Carroll.
All right. So last spring, we brought you the integrated programs, which was our proposal for the funds from the SIA grant. Every 2 years, we have to actually bring the grant agreement to you as a part of the statute. And so tonight we're asking that you've reviewed the grant and that we have your approval to move forward.
I motion that we adopt the approval of the SIA agreement as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to policy update JFCEB-AR, second read with Marlene
All right. Last month, we brought the first read of this policy, and it is the administrative rule for our cell phone exemptions. And tonight we ask for approval in second read.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we adopt the policy JFCEB-AR as presented.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Or, sorry, second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Last one, 2026, 27, and 2027, 28 academic calendar, second read, Miss Amanda Hollenberg.
Thank you. The 2026, 27, and 2027, 28 district calendars were presented to the school board on January 12th, 2026, along with the discussion of the factors considered by the committee tasked with developing the proposed drafts. This evening, the district presents the final drafts for second read and adoption.
Is there a motion?
I motion that we adopt the 2026, 2027, and 2027, 28 academic calendars as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0.